The unity of Nigeria may have collapsed. Now, the US government has banned the wife of Nigerian President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We don't want to see you again in the US. Go back to Nigeria. We don't want to interview. What do you have to say about that?
Yeah, it didn't come to most of the people around the real thing, very as a surprise. It didn't come as a surprise. Nigerian agenda has continued to show signs of serious deep crime. But before that, let us go into the issue of. I'm not talking about the issue of lobbying that has actually come and gone. A lot of people came out on the social media and on different platforms, celebrating the unfortunate compliment that Donald Trump actually, mistakenly, I can say that. Yes, because why I say it was mistakenly, made by Donald Trump, because if you look at it, it was not properly detailed. The wife of Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was not actually mentioned. What we had there very clearly was, president of the wife of the president, and the name was not actually mentioned. So you can see that the lobbying agenda machine within the Washington was not properly done. So it was done in the head. That proclamation, that unnecessary, uncomplimentary compliment was done by Donald Trump was not thorough. He would have mentioned, Remi Tinubu, wife of, but it never happened. It shows you a lot of things that was being played out completely, that led to where we are. The speculation that suddenly Donald Trump has just realized that, it was a heavy blunder on his side, and that was why he said no. I need to revisit, and that was where that statement came out and the banning came. And we could also suddenly see different platforms, media platforms in America, American TV, and the rest of them, started reporting how this woman was busy, sneaking from one office to another, trying to see who he is going to use just to play down, the Muslim ticket agenda that have come in disguise to destroy Nigeria, and on top of that, just to see how he can muzzle down or whittle down, what American government wanted to do. But the lacking aspect of it that surprised the whole world was the sudden, tweet by Randy Moore, that surprises everybody, that gives you an insight that possibly Randy Moore have actually sold out. Let me give you history about this Randy Moore. Randy Moore is a US lawmaker, and people believe that he was very close to Donald Trump, to that extent that he can at one point in order, get the ears of the president Donald Trump, and that there was actually where the mistake made. And you remember that immediately Randy Moore proclaimed or tweeted, that there's clear possibility that Nigeria may not divide, and that the issue of dividing Nigeria is not as serious, and secondly, that they cannot do without middle belt, that Nigeria cannot break because of middle belt issue. The entire Congress of US Congress, rose in condemnation of what Randy Moore is actually talking about. It shows that, Heba has been compromised, or Nigeria has actually happened to him. I used to listen to, Barrister Darlington, on one of the platforms where he said that the way Randy Moore and others are presenting the issue before Washington, it looks like, yes, they have been caught by the lobbying propaganda machine of the Bola Ahmed Tinubu-led administration, and that gives a revelation of what actually is playing out within the Nigerian government, US genocide issue, and of course the issue of Biafra and the division factor, signaling that the owner of Bolus in Nigeria, who happens to be a very close ally to Bola Ahmed Tinubu, his son Michael is married to Tifiani, who happens to be the daughter of Donald Trump. And on that aspect too, he holds a special advisor position on religious matters bordering Muslims and Christians within Middle East. So he might have be using that leverage to actually get the ears, of Donald Trump to even, make that uncomplimentary compliment that triggered a lot of people saying that the U.S. Whatever relations they are having has been diplomatically, normalized simply because Donald Trump actually, made that uncomplimentary, undetailed, and within that space of few days, we saw Rally Moore coming up with another surprise tweet, that the issue of that means something is wrong actually with what the lobbying propaganda of the federal government has actually done in Washington that angered Donald Trump when he discovered that this thing we are not as what he thought, and that was why they block currently now them from accessing anywhere in the United States of America.
There is serious tension in Aso Rock for the fact that wife of a president could be kicked out of the US. Tinubu himself cannot even enter the United States of America. At this time, Mr. Chinedu, let's look at this angle. Do you think that the Biafra movement has finally come?
Yes, let me tell you, it has always been there. I can say it very clearly, and now that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has come out and acknowledged that there's no longer going to be sit at home, then what next? I think that should be a lot of questions people are asking. Now we are seeing the supposed person who's supposed to present the Biafran matter properly, the Christian genocide proper before the United States of America. He is sounding mysterious, as if he doesn't know, there's issue of agitation for the division of Nigeria. That is one. Two, why he's suddenly trying to downplay the issue of genocide. I'm talking about particularly this unfortunate statement coming from Moore, making him look like he's one of the American jihadists who is running on a different agenda from what Trump administration is having already in his mind. Of course, that is not going to stop. If Trump refuses to do it, Israel refuses to do it, a nation, a president will emerge in this part of the world that will do it. But let me tell you, I think it has gotten to that point now that we might not be relying on any powerful leader anywhere in the world, to tell us what to do. Now that the issue of Sister Tom has actually come to end, it might result to the extent that if the killing continues to advance towards the Biafran nation, of course, we don't have any option now than to engage in serious armed struggle. Maybe that time the world will now listen.
Kasim Shettima, Nigeria's vice president, said Israel should allow Palestine to have their own state. But the Igbos are saying, in the same place, why can't you allow us to have our own region since we are not the same? Benjamin Netanyahu made a big statement. He said, we are going to protect the Christians. How does that concern the Biafra movement?
Yes, I can tell you that when you talk about the Jewish community, between the Middle East and of course outside the Middle East, we know very well that the Jewish communities are scattered all over the world, and the most recognizable one, within West Africa, and of course, let me just say, Nigeria are the Biafran people. And he very, very clearly, that if the United States of America refuse to do it, that Israel will do it. That's if they fail. And they have also put their foot on ground already, but a lot of people that don't know, you can go and ask Gumi, why he said that Mossad is already in Nigeria, what he actually mean by that, so they're already on ground. But that's why if you look at it very well, Benjamin Netanyahu has for some time now has been careful about over his relationship with America, or especially on the experience he had during the Middle East war, where he took time before America can approve arms for them, and he said that no, we are going to build the largest industrial weapon in Israel, where we will not be able to depend on any country anywhere in the world before we can take a decision to defend our country. Yes, and that is the truth. So if at this point now that we are looked at it and the Americans are responding, the international community are responding, and our own people are dying, of course, the next thing is that maybe we should engage directly, because the final, like we is saying, that everybody in Nigeria must accept Sharia for the killing to stop. You can imagine that. You know, you have to accept Sharia. The Kwara people have to accept Sharia. The Oyo people have the Biafrans themselves have to accept Sharia. And you can see clearly what their man in the Eastern Bloc is saying, Asari Dokubo, you know, that they can actually use him to achieve a certain agenda. So that's the clear uprising, and that if it is not checked, as the world is pretending, America is pretending as if they don't know what is actually happening based on what Radimo have just said. But if you look at, you know, other powerful congressmen, you know, who are also still on public hearing on the decision they are going to take about Nigeria, you know, especially, you know, coming from one of those congressmen, you know, if I can remember his name, you know, he made that comment that, you know, that is it because of 9 billion that Nigerian government is using $9 million just to do lobby to cover up for the atrocities they committed. And that was coming from the American TV, you know, anchor, the Kings, you know, who actually made that statement that the wife of the president, I think that was where Donald Trump actually got annoyed and said they don't want to see anybody, you know, when that revelation came, that this lady, you know, came secretly and approached, you know, Tony Perkins, you know, to allow him, you know, use his channel to cover up. Like there is also did, and a lot of money was offered. But the young man, who is an American journalist, refused to compromise the process. You know, so it tells you how deep these people have gone to make sure that, you know, they confuse the entire world. And unfortunately, Donald Trump, whether he fell for it or not, he's just realizing it now that it was a deadly mistake for him to have made. And now we are seeing, you know, so many things concerning Remitribu is being played online. I don't know how they wanted to get to that level. So it actually shows that, you know, Nuhu Ribadu and the other machineries from the US, military machinery from the US, who have engaged the federal government in an indoor meeting and other, they were not actually talking about how they are going to solve the issue of what we are hearing today. The problem is that they are busy, you know, signing, giving out money, funding, and all the rest of them. That to the extent we are saying that Rami Moore himself is saying he didn't know there's anything like Christian genocide. The issue of division of Nigeria is not even serious. And then the question everybody should ask Rami Moore at this point in time: if a particular people have lived in self-determination camp, you've not heard about Mazinam the camp, you've not heard about Biafra agitation. Is that what Rami Moore is trying to say? Or that in everywhere you covered in the course of your investigation or in your findings in Nigeria, you know, you are using that. Okay, we've been together for many years, and it has been reported also by the public that you, at a point in time, you are showing a document that shows that UK, you know, has already signed the amalgamation of Nigeria after 100 years. So what does that tell Ranimo? So Ranimo want to tell us that you have not had people anywhere in Nigeria agitating because of Fulani issue in Nigeria that has never, there's no sign of coming to an end. And what you're saying that we should continue in this contraction and be killed, then that is what you actually advocate. That is what Ranimo is advocating for. So on that note, you know, I think, you know, anybody that is at that level who are trying to get the global attention or solidarity on the issue of killings in Nigeria should look elsewhere if Ranimo has actually continued to show this kind of position on very insensitive issues that have taken down 65,000 lives and 17,000 churches burnt in Nigeria.
Murik said, that's the Muslim Health Council, they said more mosques have been burned down than churches. That's number one. Number two, Sheikh Ahmad Gumi told the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, abandon the US, move closer to China, Turkey, and Pakistan. And President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was in Turkey. Is that the reason why the US government has kicked out the wife of the president?
Yes, no, apart from that, I think it has to do with some level of lobbying, that the Nigerian government has actually carried out, because I know that for now, and another one, there's another businessman, which name might not be mentioned, that is paying $120,000 to make sure that everything that has to do about the cover up, of what is happening in Nigeria. But now that you are claiming, Bonatom is claiming that Remi Tinubu is a pastor, married to a Muslim president. Then we have a vice president who is a Muslim. What is actually Remi Tinubu looking for in the United States of America? Why have he now turned US to his house, overnight? Why is he staying put there in the US? We've not seen him come out one day to condemn the killings in Nigeria. We have not seen Remi Tinubu come out one day to say the killing in Nigeria is bad. You have not seen her comment. How does he suddenly become a saint in America? That's the question. But I know that clearly you can see the reason why the speed at which Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was sentenced to death. It is these people that came out together that what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu actually stood for can never see the light of the day. And that's the picture. It has become very clear. So going to Turkey, yes, you can see very clearly he's actually playing towards the northern agenda. It did not have advised him, go to Turkey, go to this place, and that's where he's facing. Now, Turkey is even telling us, and the same Turkey, that will saw very clearly that they are the one that were actually pushing arms to with instruction that this type of arms should not be used against Muslims. It should be directly be used against Christians. Now let me tell you the picture. What you are seeing currently now that happened in Kwara, was a manipulated agenda just to create an impression that it is not only Muslims that are being killed, but they are being targeted. An agenda. Yes, the main target is Christian, and they are calling. We are not here. You can see the movement, you can see the advancement. So it's a direct message that if the Americans feel otherwise, they will continue in this, manipulative bureaucracy, meetings and committee on rubbish that have taken over 60 decades unsolved. This matter has been over 60 decades unsolved. Then I think those who are involved in this agitation at that level to look inward and begin to understand very clearly, that it has gotten to that point that they need to go elsewhere. Because if it comes, I can tell you that what happens in South Africa might become an option. Yes, because if non-violent approach first, then armed struggle is the way to go.
Finally, Yoruba land seems to be surrounded by the Fulani militias from Kwara to Oyo State. Are you not afraid? After Yoruba land, Igbo land is next.
Of course, when I was taking the measurement, I told some people, that from Ilorin to Osun is less than 1 hour. You understand? And you can see that there is manipulative process within the military and the police hierarchy. Everybody seems to be working towards that agenda. There is no need of waiting till 2027 for anybody to take decision of what is going to happen, because it is coming. And you understand, in as much as it takes Turkey alone 2 days to collapse under Islam, how many days did it take Egypt to collapse under Islam? Egypt here, they were saying, so, and they have vowed that all over the world that they must advance it, and even America is under threat. What is Radimo talking about? The American government is under threat. I can remember when the OPC actually mobilized against these people in Kwara. You can see that Buhari, as at that time, deployed thousands of Fulani troops and that was how the whole thing break out. I listened to Galadima very clearly. He said one of the reasons why they brought Buhari back was to stop OPC in Kwara. Can you see that? And they come up publicly to say it. What is actually wrong that this revelation was actually put there in the public by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? But unfortunately, the Southwest, I wouldn't say, apart from those who are seeing the danger and saying, no, we don't want to be part of this, and it's a world public. But you can see, it's like everything has just died down unfortunately, and the people are gradually advancing Sharia into the mainstream southwest states, politically and otherwise. So there's a situation where Nigeria has actually moved from secular nation to become either a Muslim religion or Christian religion. Then you know that such a nation is no longer guaranteed. It's no longer a nation. It's no longer a country. The only way out of it is to make sure that either by fire or by force, if there's no solidarity from the international community, then the people should rise in armed struggle, and that will actually lead to. We should not wait for 2027 election, before America or any international community will start to wait. This is the direction we are going to go. This is the direction that we go. We have known how number of elections that have come and gone, but the agenda has become ideology, and you cannot stop ideology just by elections.